Nightwing issue 53, Scott Lobdell writing. Actually, Scott Lobdell did the plot, Fabian De Souza did the script, and then Travis Moore and Patrick Zircher did the art.
Up until you get to the art, it's 90s as hell.
I mean, Travis Moore's fairly nice.
Anyway, so the last issue ended with this Nightwing cop jumping down. Whilst Rick is looking for this cab driver who's went missing in this bad part of town, and there's a lot of really bullshit narration here with Rick kind of did I look as good in that outfit kind of thing. There's bullshit like that.
It is bullshit.
Yeah, cat go away.
So it's like, did I look this cool when I was wearing that?
Yeah, there's a dumb line coming up later, which I'll get to. So, there's one that stuck out to me that I wanted to mention. That doesn't mean it's the only dumb line in the book. So, Rick gets handcuffed to the cab by this Nightwing cop. Of course, Rick immediately pulls his hand out of it and goes, "Oh, I guess this Dick Grayson was something of an escape artist."
Yeah, not sure that's how muscle memory works, but okay.
Yes. New Nightwing cop is shit at what he's doing. He falls through the skylight when he's trying to survey what's going on. We have this gang who's kidnapped the cab driver, and Nightwing starts to fight them, and then Rick comes in and tries to free the cab driver. Nightwing cop grabs one of their submachine guns and starts firing it about the place. And
just before we go too much further,
yes,
do we get a reason why they kidnapped the cabbie?
Yeah, they had to talk about it. They say that they sell off parts of the cab as well as parts of him on the black market.
Okay, I mean,
God,
sure, but as he points out, is there a big market for 76-year-old kidneys? It seems really poorly thought out.
Are you surprised?
I mean, a little. I think typically these gang members, I'm not saying they're necessarily smart. I'm saying they can see where the most money is, and that is in healthy young organs, you would assume.
This is the next scene actually when they go to the hospital and Rick's there visiting the cab driver. And he says, "Are you sure that Nightwing guy was the real deal?" To the cab driver, the old dude. He's like, "I heard Nightwing was young and much hotter." And I'm just like, it's not so much that I don't think Dick Grayson would crack a joke about being attractive, because he would. It's just, this is like the most inane way to say that sentence. There's no creativity, there's no, like if you were making this joke yourself, you'd say something like, I don't know, I heard this Nightwing was much more dashing or something. You would crack that sort of joke to it. But he just says hotter. It's like a 12-year-old. I don't know.
And then also, heard Nightwing was young, not younger.
Young. Yeah,
so that sounded weird.
Something very stilted about the whole thing. And Rick ends up going on a date with this barmaid that he's been chatting up. They've been kind of bonding because it's like, oh, everyone else I know has this look in their eyes where they want me to be Dick Grayson again. So he ends up flirting with her, and she buys him a burrito because he's poor. And then he's all like, "Oh, thanks for the burrito." And there's like a moment.
Yeah, there's a bit when he rushes into the where the gang members are. They're like, "Get out of here, you bum!" And he's like, "Oh yeah, maybe I do need a change of clothes."
Yeah, maybe. Meanwhile, Nightwing cop's actually been injured, so he runs to his buddy who refused to join him because we know we're getting a team of Nightwings based on the covers and stuff in the future. Yeah. So presumably he will end up being this dude. The ultimate thing though is there's a guy who goes to the bar named Tiny who's an alcoholic, and even though he was there drinking, he's still going to the AA meetings. And the final scene of the book is that he goes to this AA meeting, and it turns out the doctor there, who's using a fake name, is Scarecrow, and releases the fear toxin gas at the end, and that's the issue.
This seems like really small potatoes for Crane. I'm gonna go after the AA meeting.
I assume he's got a bigger plan that's going to spiral out of this.
I mean,
I'm sure he's got more. I'm sure he's got more going on.
It seems like a really low-key starting point for him.
Oh dear. I mean, it didn't take too long to read. Like I'll give it that. Like I don't want to say it flowed because I don't want to say that either, but you know, some of these bad books you read and it's like, this feels like it's twice as long as an issue.
It flowed in the sense that the scenes all made sense. Structurally, it flowed.
Sure.
But the dialogue was stilted and all over the place, which meant that it didn't flow in terms of reading it.
Yes. And then on top of that, and obviously, I mean, everything with Rick is just, obviously it's been frustrating since issue 50. We've complained about it ad nauseum. I feel like the only new thing to add here is that we have Rick, like, consistently basically belittling what his past was and actually going, oh, hey, this cop's become Nightwing. I guess I don't have to worry about that now. I don't have to feel guilty that there's no Nightwing anymore. That's basically his attitude.
Pretty much. Not that we had any signs that he was feeling guilty about it anyway.
Nah, I mean, maybe guilt's the wrong word. Maybe it's just that, he doesn't have to be pestered by other people to be Nightwing now, because there's a Nightwing. You know, that's him. He's off scot-free, essentially. No puns for Mr. Miracle intended. So, it's just... it's a frustrating read. It's unpleasant to read. It's an unpleasant version of the character, as it has been the whole time. This issue is no better or worse than the last one. It's just the same kind of bleh.
Mundane bullshit.
It could be worse, but it also could be a lot better. Which I guess lands us to the ratings where it's probably like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, 3.5 if you're being generous, but probably a 3.
Yes, do you feel it being generous, I guess?
Not really, no.
Yes. They didn't really mention the art much. It's fine.
I mean, it's fine. There was one bit where Nightwing Cop kicked the gang members, and his leg was at a really weird, unnatural angle that stuck out to me. But, I mean, it's fine for the most part.